It's now July, I think 20th today, July 20th, 2021, and we are still in the grips of the plague, of the pandemic. Now, I wanted to talk about fiction writing and how I started out in the city, and about fiction writing today. And things were a lot different back when I started out. This was really before, ebooks were just, actually I predated ebooks, but I was on the cusp of electronic books being published by indie publishers. But before that, in Bangkok, we had this strange phenomenon, which was the self-publication of local expat authors who built relationships with the printers here. And the printers here weren't really reading the material. It was similar to the Olympia press in Paris in the 1950s, when all the likes of, these books like The Ginger Man and Naked Lunch and Lolita and The Tropic of Cancer would get published, because the printers really didn't know what was being published, and there was a delay in the French legal system, which meant the books could be published and put out and sold before the cases came to court and the publishers were prosecuted. In Thailand, there was really no such restrictions in terms of content being published. But the content being published was, it was pre-Me Too movement. It was muscular, it was male, it was, private detectives and bar girls, and it was kind of sexist. But there was no censorship here, so this kind of movement of these kind of male-driven, muscular detective novels, similar to the type of novels which were being published, in the Americas as well, in the 20s, 30s. Dashiell Hammett, Raymond Chandler, that sort of muscular male detective in a cruel, dark world kind of concept was easily transferable to Bangkok, where the streets are just as dark as LA for sure. And so there was this movement afoot, and there was a readership as well. Mostly people who were on holiday here. This was before really the internet had taken off in the same way with social media. There were websites and forums when I first arrived. We had Stickman had just broken onto the scene with his blog, I think in 2001. Then we had Thai Visa Forum, which was where bitter expats would exchange information about the city they knew so much about. It was like a competition. Who knows most about this strange, baffling, bizarre metropolis? So people would chime in with their own thoughts, ideas, concepts, and then people realized they could put this to paper as well and publish their ideas. I mean, there was a lot of self-help books for, travelers or expats who wanted to start businesses or build homes or, marry their sweetheart. There was always material around for these guys. And then there was fiction, the likes of Dean Barrett, Christopher Moore. And then a little bit later, John Burdett wrote an internationally acclaimed novel with Bangkok 8 and that series. And also you had Tim Hallinan wrote some really good kind of literary fiction centered around Bangkok and his protagonist there. So this was, I would say, the golden age of expat, Thai expat fiction. And then the momentum gathered, and there was more material, and I think we came to a stage where it wasn't really politically correct to publish a lot of novels in Bangkok focusing around white males, and B, there was just so much of it. So the market became a little bit stagnated, I think it's fair to say. And we're at a stage now where we're looking for the next new thing. I mean, it might be a Thai author, a Thai female author would be fantastic, to give the other side of the story.